Yeah, I wanted to talk about my now. I'm going to ask my. I see my psychiatrist, my psychiatrist on Wednesday, and I'm going to ask him if he would. I'm going to tell him that I want to apply to see if I can get a permit for a firearm, and if he would uh, talk to testify in court or whatever process I need to go to say that I'm competent to carry such a thing. Now, I don't think he's going to be willing to do that, and I'll tell you why. And the other thing is, I feel at this point, I don't want anybody to give him a hard time. I want people to look at him and say, because the thing is, right, at least I can get him to say, this guy, he comes in, he comes on time to his he only comes on time to his interviews, and he answers my questions, and he seems lucid, and he seems like he's all right, and like the medication is working. That to me is the victory that I get from him. But see, the thing is, this guy has been tortured and traumatized by surveillance, and him and his family, and see, the thing is, like, even good, people are going to say things like, well, he's okay now, he's recovered. You don't recover when people like that are still in power, and can still hold you, and can still hold you in long interviews and things like that. You don't recover when the people aren't brought to justice. But they're going to. And the other thing is, this guy's been traumatized. And one of the ways he's been traumatized is that he is afraid to defend himself with a firearm against, or in any way, against surveillance, against the bad ones. He's been traumatized that way. And he's scared of them. He's just like Bobby. He's traumatized just like Bobby and Dale were. And their second to the last interview before they were going to be interviewed or debriefed or whatever you want to call it by the good surveillance. Because they figure, because, well, the other thing is, he's not stupid. My psychiatrist says he knows the good surveillance can't protect him. He knows they can't protect him, and he's not going to tell them if they've threatened him or tried to frighten him or anything in their interviews. He's going to act like he knows they can't protect him, and he knows that he is really critical. They want him to get me into an institution so they can anally rape me there and brainwash me. He's their last hope. And I wouldn't be surprised if anyway. But anyway, now what it is he's afraid. He's afraid to defend himself against these people with a firearm or whatever. And is a person who's afraid to defend himself going to defend another person's right to defend himself? Probably not. Probably not. He's not going to defend him. He's not going to say, well, you seem like a safe guy. I think years ago, before they were interfering with him, he was that kind of a guy. But the thing is, he's been traumatized, and he knows he can't protect himself. He's really he knows that, and he knows the good surveillance can't protect him. So I'm not expecting that, and I don't want people. I don't want him put to shame. I just want him to be able to say, I go to his, he says he comes to my meetings. He seems like he's taking his medication, whatever. I want him to say, he seems all right, blah blah blah, etc. And that's the victory. But I'm going to ask him about that because this is an issue, and sometime I'm going to take it up when I get these guys to court. It's not right that people should be able to, the founding fathers. If you study, things and everything of the Constitution, they wanted people to be able to defend themselves against the government. That's why they want people to be. It's the Second Amendment, right after religion. Right after the First Amendment, they want people to be able to defend themselves against the government because there's always crooked people in the government that will abuse their power, and when people see that's why it really upset them. When my family tried to defend them, succeeded in defending themselves on their own property, they were perfectly within their rights. These people don't have a right to storm onto people's property. and they don't have a right to kill me. They don't have a right to shoot me. They don't have a right to anally rape me. They don't have a right to take away my firearm. They don't have a right. They don't have a right to do that. I have a right to defend myself. Everybody has a right to defend themselves. And everybody has a right to defend themselves against corrupt government agents. There's always going to be people that will abuse their powers, and there are laws against people like that. Anyway, and I'm going to make use of these laws, for heaven's sakes. So anyway, let's see if I wrote anything else that can finish this up here. Yeah, I'm not really concerned about needing a firearm. I just feel it's an issue. It's an issue that needs to be defended. I really feel the good surveillance will protect me against them. It's ridiculous to think that just possessing a firearm is going to protect me against them. These are the kind of people that only attack someone when they have overwhelming force. I'll read what I was going to close my little story off here that I wrote that I'm going to upload pretty soon. Bullies are essentially cowards. They're afraid to get their social needs by other means than intimidation. And if people have firearms and are willing to defend themselves, they know they are less likely to be intimidated. It is my hope that as we become more willing to defend ourselves and we extend some kind of forgiveness to them, they will find other ways to get their social needs taken care of. I'm kind of hoping a lot of these people will repent. A lot of times, if people just see that people are not going to tolerate their behavior, they'll turn around and say, hey, maybe we should change or reform or try to learn to do things a different way. Many of them feel intimidated themselves, and this is part of why they do anything in a social situation. Sometimes they just need a good role model. I believe as they see people are willing to stand up for themselves, they will see good role models and want to repent and change themselves. That was why they didn't kill my mother. They couldn't help but admire her. And I can't help but admire her. I love you, Mom. God bless you guys.